Welcome to Beyond the Headlights,
where we turn our pain into purpose
and raise our voices against drunk driving.
All right, so for today's podcast, we're going to do something a little bit different.
A little lighthearted.
Yes, we've had some very serious topics, and we just want you guys to get to know us a little bit better. So we're going to interview each other. We're going to ask each other the same questions, and like we usually do, just kind of play off of each other's answers. So hopefully it'll give you a better sense of us as humans and not just grieving moms and widows.
Yes.
And reassure you too that it's okay to laugh after loss.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question I have for you, Destiny, is what is something that people would be surprised to learn about you?
I, before my accident, was actually super shy, quiet, and timid. I lived in my husband's shadow, and, I didn't have my own voice. So,
and so here you are on a podcast
yes,
with a voice.
A podcast, doing a documentary. I go to the store, and people recognize who I am, and that was, never who I was before. So I've kind of tell myself that, I would have been happy being a caterpillar my whole life. A pretty caterpillar, but I feel like
Sure.
I've, transformed into a beautiful butterfly and discovered myself and found my wings, and
yeah,
I'm just so
good.
proud of me.
You should be. That's good. That's very good. That would even kind of springboard off of a question that I have further down the list, and that is, what is something that you would now do that you would never see yourself doing before the crash?
Yeah, so before the crash, I had never been drunk before. I had never dyed my hair. I just
really?
never had dyed my hair even by the age of 21. So I just played things very safe. I
started dyeing my hair
nest.
when I was 13.
My mom wouldn't let me. She's like, nope, you're a kid.
My mom did it.
I had to beg.
She was a cosmetology student, so she always dyed my hair.
Oh, I love that, though.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had to beg just to get my belly button pierced, and I kind of played both parents.
Risque.
And ended up getting it, so I felt like hot stuff for a bit. But no, I just even dyeing my hair. Mm-hmm. And now, here with all of this, it's also natural and stuff, but I'm just super outgoing now and more vocal and confident in myself, and I just feel like I've been able to grow into the person that I'm meant to be.
Right.
What about you? What is something that people would be surprised to learn about you?
So mine is kind of different.
Yeah.
I never wanted children.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 4, and I ended up doing childcare for 25 years, which is kind of backwards. But I babysat from the time, it was different a long time ago. When I think my very first babysitting job, I was 10.
Okay,
and
that's me too, because I
Yeah.
had 4 younger cousins that were more like my sisters. And for the month of June, their parents would pay me $100 for the entire month to get them up every day for summer school. And now I look back and I was like, man,
why did I do that?
That was a ripoff.
It was, yeah.
But
yeah, mine was $0.25 a day for 5 kids all summer long.
Yes.
And they were terrible. Their house smelled like pee. And the mom decorated the house with her bras, air drying all over the place. And so that was the beginning of my never wanting children. And then I ended up meeting Tom, and he had a 1.5-year-old. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to, if I love him, then I will have to have a child.
Yeah.
And then I had 3 of my own, and I ended up in childcare for 25 years with everybody else's children. I had 6 flower girls in my wedding.
Oh my goodness.
All children. So yeah, that's a contradiction, but
that is so
I wouldn't
funny.
change it for anything.
No, I used to think that I could have a whole slew of kids, tons of kids. That was my goal in my past life, is what I call it.
Yeah.
And now I have 2, and I'm a frazzled mess trying to be a business professional and do all the things.
Well,
so
you're pretty busy.
2 is it.
Yes.
What's your favorite way to waste time that you'll never apologize for?
Well, I have an after part, after the crash. My favorite way to waste time is I made quilts. I don't know how to sew. I've never been interested in sewing, but I had all of these t-shirts of Grace's. So I was afraid to mail them off to let somebody else make a quilt. So I YouTubed and figured out how to quilt.
That shows the go-getter you are.
Well, I made 7 quilts, not just my own, but I love laying under her quilt and just watching trash TV, like totally terrible TV that I get nothing out of, and it just rots my brain. But before of me would have been sitting in front of a campfire, just like in a hammock, with my kids, just playing games like Would You Rather?
Yes.
You know, those things. So, yeah, very different before and after.
Oh, yeah. Your before is my after. So, like, the thing that brings me, like, the most amount of peace now and the things that I like doing most is sitting in our hammock chairs on the back patios. The kids run feral, doing their own thing with the barbecue grill going. Yeah. But if it's just something for me, I will scroll on TikTok or read a book for hours and get sucked in, and
don't need the laundry done, don't need the house cleaned, don't need to do work stuff. It's just, I think your brain is going, at least for me, I won't speak for you, but your brain's going 24/7. Even when I sleep, it's either bad dreams or sketchy dreams that I can't quite piece together, but they don't feel like happy. It's just anxious dreams. And so I give myself space to be a vegetable during the day and just I can't do it every day. I would like to do it every day. Yeah. Some days you got to shower and work and stuff, but I think your brain just needs some downtime.
Just to decompress, you know, and I find myself appreciating the little things in life so much more than I ever did before. Like just walking on like a pretty like hiking trail or finding a nice creek. Or
your senses are heightened, I think. Yeah. Like you notice things that maybe you wouldn't notice before, and you find joy in things that might be silly. Yeah. Just because I think too, you when you're really, really low, you have to look for things to be grateful for. Oh, yeah. So you're like, okay, I feel a little breeze. I'm very grateful for that. Or, hey, I'm not crying today.
I know. Yes.
I'm so grateful. Or, hey, I don't have a headache. I'm not sick with worry.
Oh, yeah, it helps. Just being able to find those things that you are grateful for. It kind of puts a positive spin on like the sadness you may be experiencing. And it just makes the day a little more worth living, I guess.
Yep, absolutely. What's a fun fact if somebody asks for one? Like, are those gross questions when you're meeting new people in a circle or something? Yeah. Tell us your name and tell us one fun fact about you.
I struggle with that. And even now I'm like, what's a fun fact? Because my facts aren't not very fun. Something that comes to mind like instant is me and my brother are the same age for 2 days. So
that's a fun fact.
I'm 31 and he's 30. And he doesn't think it's cool anymore. But I still think it's the coolest thing ever. And I will call him both of those days every year and just remind him that we are the same age. It means nothing, but
that's a fun fact.
Still picking on him, okay?
Yeah. Well, always. He's your brother.
Siblings.
Yeah. Mine is I was a meteorologist intern. Whoa. I wanted to be a meteorologist for a period of my life. And so I interned at Channel 2.
That is so fun. Yeah. My best friend, like in high school, that's what she wanted to be. Like she was so into storm chasing and it would be like the scariest storms. And I'm like, we need to go downstairs. She's like, no, we are watching.
Well, and see, that's the thing. I'm not brave. I'm so afraid of storms. I remember being really, really little, like laying in my bed if the windows were open and the curtains would start moving. Yes. I think, oh no, we better go downstairs. I've always been real panicky about it, but that's where the fascination comes from.
Yeah.
So
you want to know more?
Yeah.
What would the younger version of you be proud of today?
Similar to yours. I will piggyback off of that a little bit. I am more confident than I ever have been, and without being too personal, which is funny because we've been so personal, but without being too personal, I had a relationship that was very, very toxic that I allowed to happen most of my life. But after Grace, I felt, because she had the confidence to break off that relationship, I felt like I could too. And so I would be very proud of my boundaries.
it's crazy because that was exactly my answer, is that like as I have gotten older and as I have experienced more life and went through more trauma and like a roller coaster of a life, I feel like I have learned how to set boundaries for myself. And I've always been like such a people pleaser, and I want to take care of everyone, and I'm such a giver, but like, when do I get to take care of me? Yeah. And so I have, for the first time in my life, learned how to set boundaries and take care of me first, and then I'll take care of everyone else.
Right.
So,
because what's that analogy? You can't pour from an empty cup or something like that. So that's good. That's good that you've recognized that. Yeah. I think it's just, for me, like, life is so short and it could change in a moment. So why am I allowing this person to control how I feel about me?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I just want to be surrounded by people that like love me and trust me and are proud of me and are cheering me on. Right. And if you don't fit in that, then I need a new circle.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's good.
Yeah.
What's a weird food combination that you secretly love?
So I feel like this is controversial,
but
I love pineapple on pizza.
Oh, yeah.
I am a pineapple lover on pizza, but I am also mushroom obsessed. Like,
really?
I love like eating mushrooms on everything. So I usually order half a pizza with just pineapple and mushrooms, and I am happy.
Wow. Yeah, that's not a good combination. No
pineapple
offense.
belongs on pizza.
I have a lot. I am obsessed with pickles. All of the
They are good.
They are all pickles, and like especially artificial pickle flavoring stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Like the weird things. Like the other day I had the pickle lemonade from Popeyes.
Ooh.
That was really tangy. Yeah, super tangy. It was like the lockjaw kind of tang. Yeah.
And like you can feel your mouth start to water before you even drink it.
Right. I've had pickle taffy, saltwater taffy. That was really good. And pickle cotton candy.
Ooh.
So yummy.
Sonic a few years back had a pickle
slushy. I know. Delicious.
Was it?
Yeah, they should bring it back every summer. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. But also I love mashed potatoes, and I loved mashed potatoes before.
Yeah.
But after, they're like a staple in my diet, which is,
that's great.
I'm working on it. I will reel myself in eventually.
I do like putting ranch on spaghetti. That was weird.
You made my eye twitch.
That's like, it sounds like a weird combination, but like we had some childhood friends and they did it all the time. And we're like, that is so gross. And they're like, no, you have to try it. We tried it, and now like hooked. So now I always
do the
put
kids
ranch.
do it?
No. But my brothers, good. I believe, still do.
Nice. So does it have the spaghetti sauce on it, or just the? Okay.
You just mix it into regular spaghetti and throw a ton of cheese on there. It's my fave.
Okay. I will allow that.
You're like, that's okay.
That's fine. You're an adult. The zombie apocalypse question is funny, and I'll let you answer first. But if we have a zombie apocalypse, what is your role?
Is it too morbid to say, like, I'll just go out first? Like,
that's my answer.
Can I go out first so I just don't have to witness any of it? Like,
no, my family would say she's the first to go. Like, just let's sacrifice her because she's just going to slow us down.
I'm like, that sounds like dark, but like, can it just be allowed then? Like,
I'm not a great cook. I won't cook anything gory. I can't fight. I can't run very good. So yeah, I'm not a good shot. I guess it's just take me out first.
I mean, like, I am very outdoorsy, but like, I still need AC when it's hot out.
Right.
And like, I don't want to know a time without my cell phone again. Like, I already lived that. I don't want to live that again. I love internet. Like, I just
do you watch zombie movies or shows?
So, since TikTok became a thing, my attention span is terrible. Yeah. Like, I am so used to watching a video and then just scrolling. So I feel like my attention span is terrible. Like, I can't get interested or into anything. So I don't know the last time I turned on the TV. Like, I just don't watch it ever.
Gotcha. I like housewife shows. I like reality TV.
So like I like the Kardashians or like Sister Wives or just something like it makes my life feel a little more normal.
So you can walk out of the room, you can miss a bit, and you come back and you've never missed anything.
Yeah, I don't have to follow a story.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Oh, and then like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That was a good one. And they were all over TikTok. So like I was able to like follow along. So yeah, I just like trashy reality TV.
Well, and then too, it makes you feel better about your situation.
I feel like I have my life together.
All of my body parts are covered. My kids are all happy and sort of adjusted.
Yeah. We're having a nice, peaceful life.
Yeah. We're not fighting all the time with our spouses or screaming at our friends.
Well, and I like drama, but like other people's drama that I'm not into. Like, tell me all of your juicy like secrets and stories and like all the stuff you shouldn't tell people. Like, I want to know all
distraction.
Of it. Yeah, there is no such thing as TMI for me. I want to know everything, but I don't want any juiciness for myself.
Well, this is something weird that's changed for me. That I'm not a true crime person. I've never liked it. I'm scared of so many things.
That's the real life horror like movies. Yeah. It's like real life horror.
I could never watch them, but now I feel like I'm always running at this constant state of anxiety that if I watch a crime show that's somebody else's anxiety and drama, it almost helps me forget mine for a minute.
Yeah.
And so it's just replacing the anxiety with a different anxiety, but it's different. So
yes.
I can watch those now.
And then going back to the zombie apocalypse, I think like how terrible it would be for me to have to live without anxiety meds.
Yeah.
I would be a frazzled mess and be useless. So again, just take me out first.
Yeah,
I'll go out first. What's one small thing that helps you feel connected to the person you lost?
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. So Grace's phone survived the crash.
Okay.
Which is a hard thing for me to understand when like it didn't even crack. It's just confusing to me. So I have her phone, and still to this day, every single morning I go on her phone. I should have brought it today and played a video, but I have so many of her videos of her voice and her laughing that I will listen to those and feel like I've talked to her for the day. Like I start my day with a conversation with Grace, and then I can move on to the rest of the day. And the other thing that's weird that I do is she had like 80 hours or something ridiculous of a playlist saved on Spotify.
Did. She was 23.
Right. So I also play this game where I tell her to talk to me and I press shuffle on her playlist, and it's so eerily accurate. Yes. It's crazy. The other day, because last week was her 2-year anniversary, and leading up to it, I think that was on a Tuesday. So Monday, I was a mess. I couldn't breathe. So I said, okay, Grace, I need you to talk to me. And the song Anxiety came on. I don't even know who it's by. It's not the TikTok Anxiety. It's
maybe you'll be able to share it and they can put it like play like a little clip or something.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah. I was at the crash site one day and I was a mess. I was just sobbing. And I was out there by myself. I got in the car and I turned on her playlist, and Tomorrow from Annie was on it.
I loved Annie growing up, but it had to be the straight hair Annie, not the curly hair Annie.
This was curly hair
There
Annie.
is a difference in that. The straight hair Annie was like my age.
Yeah, it's just so random, and like it feels so purposeful. Like she is picking what song I need to hear for the emotion that I'm feeling, and I would say 90% of the time it's like, oh my gosh, sorry, probably that was too much background noise. But then I'll share it with my family. Like, I am not even joking. Look what song she picked for me today.
I love that. Well, like mine is kind of similar, but going back a little bit, I think that it's great that you're able to listen to your voice. I went probably 9 years out of the 10 years and I couldn't hear their voice or it would destroy me.
I've heard that from other people too.
It was too much. Like I couldn't pretend it didn't happen then. Like not that I, but sometimes we lie to ourselves to make it. So like I couldn't hear their voice. So I've just recently been able to watch videos and hear them. And
I've heard that from a lot of people.
But mine was one day, again, probably like 8 or 9 years ago. It was still early on. I was having a really bad day and it was like a beautiful sunny day. And I like just said in my head, like, if you're still around me, like if you can still hear me, like send a rainbow, you know, just make a rainbow in the sky. And I didn't just want it like a single, I wanted it a double, because like I didn't want it to be a coincidence. I wanted to make it hard, and then for both of them, you know.
Of course.
And so we went into Walmart, my husband and I now, and come back out, and there was a double rainbow in the sky, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I literally screamed. I screamed, and he's like, what in the world? But like it was just like that little wink that I needed. And so now it could be a perfectly like sunny day, and in like the horizon or just randomly in the sky there'll be like a little sliver of a rainbow.
Do you count like the rainbows that come from like water vapor, like in the garden hose
like
and stuff?
Just any of it, like, but like it'll be a perfectly sunny day, and if I just like think about it, or like I'm just like a little stressed out or anxious, or if I got bad news or even good news, like it'll just randomly appear. And it's not those like stormy rainy days, you know, like it's the perfect sunny day where there's no explanation of a rainbow.
Right.
So and now my little one Coraline, she will get excited if she sees like a rainbow, or
because she knows what it means.
Yeah. And she's recently started asking if like she could ride like a magical horse up to see Parker and his dad, and I was like, we can't do that.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I know. I'm like, he sends us pretty presents though when he thinks of us, like the pretty flowers or the butterflies, you know, like if you look you'll see him, and like the
she's
things that
be
he's
so
here.
Empathetic and intuitive when she grows up.
Yeah. And her brother is just he's a very matter of fact. That's not a thing, but it absolutely is a thing to me.
That's Grace and Jake. And that's why Grace used to say, I want to be a pony when I grow up.
Yes.
And Jake would like have meltdowns over it. That's not possible. You can never be a pony when you grow up.
That is their relationship right now.
It's beautiful.
Yes. So this question that I have for you, I feel like it's still probably considered a little heavy, but you know, like sometimes on Facebook, they'll end up having like the picture where it's like a red pill or a blue pill. And if you could go back in the future, goodness, if you could go back in the past, would you go back? Or if you could go in the future, you know what I mean, and see the future. And I'm curious if you would go back in your past, and then I'll share what I think.
Because my question for you, I'm not even joking, was would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so at the beginning of this, we had like scripted questions that we could think about the answer to. We are off script now, and so you will probably notice a difference in our answers. I think...
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is. I don't want to cry.
Oh, I've thought about this in the past. Do you want me to answer mine? So, as much as I would want to go back in the past, it would be too hard to say goodbye again.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm so sorry. So, I would either pause time if that was a thing so I could enjoy my kids being little as they are now, or I would go in the future to see that we did it and we made the changes that we needed that would have saved our family years before. So as much as I want to hug them and hold them again, I would never be able to let go, and I think it would hurt me all over again. So to better myself now, I would not go in the past. I would go in the future and see what we did. Like, what changes did we make together?
Okay.
Because it's happening. We're changing things.
I'll just have to go with your answer.
No. Here I am making Jennifer cry.
Yeah.
It's hard though, isn't it?
It is. Because initially I was going to say 100% I'd go backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then if you could pause time. I do wish that I would have taken more pictures. Like, pictures weren't a thing then, you know, like it was like 2014, like cameras were still a thing, but the quality was so bad. So now I have over like probably 80,000 pictures on my phone, and it's like probably hundreds of the
several
same day.
Dropbox accounts.
Yeah, but I never want to miss a moment with my kids. And
I agree. I thought that I had a lot of pictures, but I don't. And I feel like I'm running out of pictures.
And I have to recycle the ones that I have. And that was a harsh realization to me, is that I'm recycling what I already had.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was supposed to be lighthearted, and that was...
Sorry! Here, I'll have an easier one. If you could go into any TV show, what would it be? Like, if you could jump into set of a TV show and be, like, in it, like it was, like, real life.
Oh, Housewives. Yeah.
Housewives?
I would go on one of the housewife trips.
Mine.
Just to be like, oh my gosh,
Fancy.
I cannot believe that you guys are fighting. You're in the most beautiful place on earth.
You're like, enjoy this.
Yeah.
Mine's One Tree Hill. I was obsessed with that.
I've never even watched it.
I watched that after it was over. Like, it was like years and like 10 plus seasons, and I didn't even watch it until it was off air. But once I watched it, it was the only
addicted.
thing I could think of. And like, man, yeah, I wish I could jump in that set and live that life for a little while and then come back. That would be fun.
Oh gosh.
Making you cry. Whoopsies.
I'm like still reeling it back in. Like, remember, you have cameras on you. Don't do ugly crying.
So Jennifer cries. I disassociate. I'm not a good person with comforting people either. I just sit here and just like, we'll change the subject till it works.
Well, how about this? Would you rather live in a tree house or a castle? Let's make this light.
So I asked Brett, my husband now, like, he remembers nothing. Like, well, either do I, but like in holidays, he just shows up because he's the dad, he's the husband, he doesn't have to plan it all. And so I'd be like, so what day is Christmas? And he'd be guessing, literally guessing, and then he'd finally get it. Well, like, I went through like all the holidays and I was like, well, do you know the Queen's birthday? And he's like, why would I know that? And I was like, it's July 28th. And he's like, you are so dumb. It's not. That's me. That's my birthday. Oh. But I was just going to say,
I like royal stuff, so, but I don't know the Queen's birthday.
That's me. I am the queen of his life. So
remember,
I'll take
we were
castle.
Just saying which one's blonde. I think it's me today.
I'll live in a castle. What about you?
I'll live in a tree house.
Yeah, it would be pretty. I mean, I would like to go camping in a tree house, but I don't want to climb that all the time.
Well, that's true. That's true. And how would you, maybe you would have a basket. You could lower down for somebody would deliver your groceries.
An elevator in the center of the trunk.
Yeah.
No, I'll have a castle. I'll live fancy for once.
Okay. That sounds good. I think that's a good answer.
If you had to create a new hobby, what would it celebrate and how would people celebrate it? I think everyone should have a day for themselves, which is obviously their birthday. So I feel like they should make it to where nobody has to work on their birthday.
That's a good one. And you get paid for it.
Yes, for your birthday.
Yeah, you definitely have to get paid. I don't have any clue.
These are unscripted. We're letting you all know about us, and you're getting the real deal.
Holiday? Has to be a holiday that everybody would have to celebrate, or just you like on your birthday you only celebrate it, or do you want everyone to celebrate your day?
But at least you would get a paid day off. So like,
I think that should be definitely a thing. Yeah. I have no idea. I'm so bad.
Well, we obviously look like frazzled messes, I feel like, most of the time. Hot Mess Express. Are you a clean car kind of person or a dirty car?
My car has always been disgusting.
I blame it on my kids, but it is me. I'm like, don't look in there. But I'm living in that thing, basically.
Yeah, I know, right? And so I think you got into my van when we went to Quincy to do that speech, and you said
because I don't want you to see my messy car.
But I had everything because I had a minivan, so everything was hidden in the back. Beyond the first two rows. So I can put up the illusion that it's sort of cleanish, but it's not. It's gross.
The friend that's chucking stuff in the back seat when you go to get my passenger car. I'm like, hang on a second. I'm chucking this back. But
I've spilt coffee in there so many times I can't count. I would hate to detail my car. I would hate to pay somebody to detail my car.
I would love my car to be detailed and clean, but it would last
a whole
maybe a week.
How you live.
I know. And that's why I won't have a house cleaner. Like, I want one.
Too.
My sister-in-law, she has a cleaning business, and like I would let her, because she lives with my brother and he comes from the same like chaotic, like messy atmosphere. And so like I'll let her see my mess. She can clean it up. I won't feel bad. But anybody else, no way, Jose.
Well, when the kids were younger, I'd get frantic cleaning spree, like, okay, everybody's coming over today, so let's clean the house.
Company cleans house better than anybody.
Absolutely, and that's what the kids would always say. Who's coming over? Every time I'd start cleaning.
That's me.
It's not only when people are coming over. I do clean
and then when they get there and it's like spotless, I'm like, I'm sorry, it's a mess.
It's a mess, yeah.
I want to give the illusion that I have my life together, but I really don't.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm glad we're on the same boat. It would be weird if you were like spotless and I was the messy one, and at least we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
It goes along with our lifestyle though.
Yeah.
I had a question, but now I can't find it. Would you rather, it was a good one. Oh, I know. Would you rather never have to do laundry again or never have to do dishes?
Ooh.
Because I hate both of those.
I hate both of those. But obviously, I mean, I always have a Mount Everest pile of laundry, even when I am working hard on it. Like, I've been doing laundry every day.
It never ends.
Folding and putting it away, and there's still a mountain. I'm like,
because every day they wear, so 4 sets of clothes at least. Well, that doesn't even
Plus you
include
and your
jammies.
husband.
Yeah. It's never ending.
No.
But so is dishes. But you could get paper plates.
We have paper plates, best and best. I wish they had paper pots and paper clothes.
Just throw it all away.
Chuck that stuff away.
Yeah. I think I would rather never do dishes again.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the laundry.
I'd probably say never do laundry.
Yeah.
I could probably do dishes because there's not as many. Like, there's still
True.
a lot.
It's quicker. You get it done like in a shorter period of time. You don't have to wash it, dry it, put it away.
You don't have to fold your dishes. It's a less
What's
step.
the hardest part of the laundry for you? What step do you hate the most?
All of it. Probably folding it. I can throw out, like, we'll have like clean laundry, but it's still like a pile of
Ours
clean
is
laundry.
putting it away. Everybody in the house, we just can't put it away. It sits on the bed, or it sits on the floor next to the bed,
funny.
or it sits on top of the dresser.
Yeah.
You just need to open the drawer,
mine's
put it away.
folding it. I don't mind putting it away, but folding it. But it's like that last step. You know what I mean? Putting it away,
Yeah,
and you're
because
like
you've used
done.
up all your energy then.
Yeah. Yep.
Done.
Yep. So I know that you said that you're not like a cook or anything, but like if you were to have like a signature like dish or a baked good or like something, like what would you be known for making?
I make a pasta carbonara. So it's like the white cream sauce and bacon, and it's so healthy. It's got like 8 eggs and cream.
Butter and heavy whipping cream.
Yeah. I make that, and that's pretty good. I used to make homemade bread all the time. Ooh. I would love to do sourdough, but I never start. I
started my starter and then got bored, and it went nowhere.
I'm afraid, because my attention span's really short too. I'm afraid it's going to be one of those projects where I'm like, I can't wait to do sourdough. I spend the money on this stuff and then never use it.
Mine would be chocolate chip cookies. Like, if I don't know what it is. There's like a secret ingredient, aka it's a box of pudding mix, and it makes the cookies like so like fluffy and moist.
Vanilla pudding?
Yep, vanilla pudding mix, and you can't over bake it. Like,
so you're a soft cookie person?
Yeah. Okay. I don't want them crunchy.
I am too. I don't like crunchy either, but my husband loves crunchy cookies.
Yeah, no. That's when you overcook them.
I know, right?
If they're overcooked if they're crunchy.
So have you ever had grandma's cookies on Main Street?
Yes.
Is that the kind of cookie you like? Except a little bit softer.
Yeah, it's a little softer and probably not as heavy and dense,
Gotcha.
But they are so good. And then
pudding, huh?
Have you ever been to Menino's? It's like, so Menino's, that was my lunch and breakfast this morning. I went there and they have like this kitchen sink, like dump cookie, $1.79. Amazing. But like it has like pretzels in it and salt on top.
I wonder if we could get sponsors.
We absolutely
Insert
could.
Menino's commercial right here.
Heck, I don't even care. I'll throw your ad up and eat one cookie.
That's funny.
And be proud of myself. But yes, Menino's. They have like a steak bite too. This is probably off topic, but they have like these steak bites and they're filled with cheese and like they're stuck together with like a toothpick. But like, it's the best thing you'll ever eat. There's your dinner
is it like
ideas.
a kebab?
No, so like
not like that.
It's just like one little steak roll and it has cheese inside of it, and I just throw them all together in a pan and I bake it for a while until it's done. But like just the cheese and the steak together is so good.
Okay, good to know.
There's your dinner idea for the night.
Good to know. This is totally off script too, and it's just because I'm curious. Speaking of food, did you? So you, after the crash, moved in with your
parents.
Okay. Did people do meals for you?
So no, but I felt like everyone was trying to keep me busy, so I had like was invited to lunch every day or dinner.
Yeah.
So I couldn't
had a lot
eat
of
though.
dates too.
I got so like skinny, like sick looking, like
Yeah.
skeleton looking. I was a whole like 94 pounds.
Oh gosh.
So gross. Looking for myself. Like I just look sick.
Yeah.
And so I would ask my dad, like, what do you want for lunch today? Or what do you want for dinner? And then I would go and I wouldn't be able to eat because I was so anxiety ridden. So I would always bring him back
to keep
food.
busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I asked that because I know that there's like everybody wants to help and everybody wants to do something to feel like they're doing something to help you. And I remember thinking at the time, like, everybody has problems. Grace was 23. She wasn't living at home. It's not like there's the loss of that mouth to feed, you know?
Yeah. Well, we're both givers, and it feels bad accepting help or having anyone give to us when we're the giver.
But I wish that I would have said yes more.
Yeah.
Because there were so many times, especially after those first 3 weeks, when everybody, everybody was helping then. Everybody was buying groceries. Everybody was bringing stuff by. But then I remember somebody from church saying, let's set up a meal train for you. And I said, no, absolutely not. I don't want a meal train. Everybody's busy and I can't ask for that from other people. Even though I am willing to do meal trains for other people, accepting that. But then after those 3 weeks, when people got back to their lives, I remember thinking, I don't have the energy to cook. I don't have the energy to even warm something up.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been helpful because my mom was so busy trying to take care of me that I felt like it would have lessened a burden on her, you know, because she was like going through like the life insurance or like just the financial process of everything because doctor bills don't wait for you to feel better. So
don't.
I think that it would have been helpful to them.
Yeah.
And this is like a funny story. So like my parents had a mobile home and they moved me into there and I had a king size bed. And if you're familiar with like mobile homes, like the bedrooms are so small.
Yeah.
So that king size bed was in my room at my parents. And
Did you get a new phone case?
Yes. You guys want to see? It's so cute. It was snowflakes, and we were done with the way
our brains work. Sorry.
So yeah, the mobile home that had
cute.
my bedroom in it, it was literally as big as my king size bed. So it was a bedroom, like only my bed fit in there.
I get it.
And I was obviously like not in the right state of mind afterwards.
You
but
walk
like,
in the door and you roll across to the other side of the
perfect.
bed.
And I was like, how'd you get this in there? Because like the hallways are small, like the angles are small. My dad told me he put it in through the window, and I kept looking, but like I'm blonde and naive and gullible apparently, because I was like, how would you get that in the window? And they let me believe that for a really long time, you guys. They did not. They walked it through the door in the hallway, but my dumb self believed that they really fit my king size bed through the window for years until they finally gave in to me and told me that I'm a blonde.
So it must have folded like a little bit. There must have been some give to it so it would get through the Okay.
Yeah, they finagled it through the hallway and stuff, but I truly believe that they put it in the window, a little mobile home trailer like window.
I get it.
Gullible and blonde. That's who I am.
Would you rather have dinner with your hero or be somebody else's hero?
Is it bad to say that I feel like I am my own hero?
Yeah, you are. And no, it doesn't sound bad. It almost sounded like I said it sounds bad, but I
feel like a little like conceited or cocky a bit by saying I am my own hero, but like I've just dug myself out of trenches that I never knew were possible, and it wasn't just like with the crash. I feel like it's been just like different periods of my life. So I don't know if
you
I
were
have
handed
a
set of cards and you made a life for you and your children that is different than the life that you had when you were a child.
Yeah. And my husband now saved my life and is like, I guess, what I would deem a hero for me. But I get to have dinner with him every night. So, look at him.
That's so sweet.
He was sobbing on the documentary when we filmed him. Like, I did not think that, like, it meant, like, obviously, like, my tragedy, like, means something to him, and he's wiped more tears than anyone's seen, but, like, to have them question him on the documentary and watch him sob, I was just like, oh. Like,
because I think what people don't understand that have not been in this situation is to put yourself out there and make yourself so vulnerable for, like, parts of the story. I remember Joey, who filmed the documentary, said, tell the whole story. And I remember saying all of it, like even the parts that nobody knows except for the ones that have lived it. He's like, yeah, all of the story. So that's probably what Brett did, was like, okay, I am going to have to open up and say things that maybe I've only felt. And saying it out loud is so different.
Yeah. Because I noticed that, like, even when our kids hit 15 months, I was like, could you imagine? And he's like, don't ask me that. I don't want to imagine. So, like, when they're interviewing him, he had no choice but to imagine how these things could feel and, like, actually reflect on how it's affected our children.
And that goes back to when people say dumb things because they're trying to help you. Yeah. And so when people would say, like, in your situation, of course, you lost your baby and your husband. But in my situation, it's, well, at least she made it to 23. Yeah. Or at least you have other children. Like, okay, which child would you pick to go?
Mine was, at least you're young and you can have more kids and get remarried.
As if that would make you forget.
It doesn't mean I don't still love the ones I had to bury. You know what I mean? Like, it's still not fair. So, yeah, that.
So you could see that there, oh gosh. Well, if I could sit down and talk to somebody, it would be Jesus, because I have so many questions.
Oh, I have that man, or, you know, he is going to have a slideshow ready for me when I die to show me all the people I saved by doing this. It is a must, or I'm not croaking until it's ready.
Exactly. So, and I think about that all the time. I think about,
I have questions.
Like, I thought that when I got to heaven, I would say, I want to know why, X, Y, Z, whatever. And I don't think that it'll matter, because I'll be in heaven. I'll be like, everything's perfect. All the tears are wiped away. And I also, like, play the game in my mind of, what is Gracie going to show me first? Like, all the heroes of our faith. But what else will she show me? She'll, like, come here, I want to show you this. This is my favorite spot.
She's so excited too. You know what I mean? And, like, I don't even know what, like, weight this holds, but I remember being in church at one time, like, when I was younger, not to turn it into, like, a spiritual thing, but, like, I remember them saying something like, the time on earth isn't the same as time in heaven. It's like, for every, like, minute or hour or something, it's, like, comparable to, like, 7 years in heaven. Because, like, time just isn't the same, and I don't know how you'd really actually measure that or know the validity of that. But just to think that, like, we miss them so much.
A year is 1,000 days, and 1,000 days is a year.
Yeah, like, they haven't even had a chance to miss us yet. Like,
and I do believe that. I believe that, too. I think that it's going to be, like, a snap, and she's going to turn around and be like, oh, you're here.
Like, I missed you. Yeah. Like, I didn't even know. Yeah. So, because, like, I was so worried about that right after the crash, because I was still nursing Parker. So I was like, my poor baby, like, obviously he doesn't need that up there, but I was just like, he's going to miss me. Like, he's going to miss his mom. But, like, to them, it's a snap. It's, you know, they don't even realize we're gone, because, like, they're so happy. So
this is super deep. And I apologize.
Remember, I don't cry in front of people hardly, unless we're at the Capitol begging for change, and then I'm gonna sob.
No, I'm sure you've thought of this. Will Parker be a baby, or will Parker be older?
I think that he's gonna be the same as he was when he left me, so then, like, I would recognize him. You know what I mean? And then maybe I'll get to see him grow more, but I think he's just gonna be, like, happy, and, like, obviously happy, but, like, just where he was when I last saw him. Like, and I'm so excited for him to be the same, because, like, I can't wait for my kids to eventually get to, like, see him in real life.
And
like,
talk to him and have relationships with him.
Like, I want Coraline, like, Cohen loves them too, but, like, he's a boy and it's just different. But Coraline, she's so in tune, and, like, I just can't wait for the time that she actually gets to. Yeah. Now, God willing, like, do not make that ever anytime soon. Of course. A million years from now, but...
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then they can compare. Of course, they'll have glorified bodies, but we have the same eyes.
I know. Yes. Yeah.
You almost cried. I could see it.
Yes.
Would you rather give up your cell phone for a year, or sugar?
Ooh.
Or caffeine for you?
Yeah. I have a big sweet tooth, and obviously caffeine, but I feel like my phone is a really good distraction for me, so then I don't get in my head. Like, I can distract myself. So I think people in my real life would know that I am addicted to sugar and caffeine. So, like, for me to say I'd give those up to keep my phone, I think's big. So, I'd keep my phone for sure. I need a distraction.
Yeah, I'm the same. I every year I say I'm going to give up sugar. I gave up sugar one time for 30 days, and my life was so different.
Really?
I had less headaches. I had more energy. I felt so much better. And fruit, it just tasted so much sweeter. Yeah.
Like intense, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I remember pineapple being like almost too much.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But to go off of it, I had like terrible shakes. I had sweats.
I bet.
I was physically sick. It felt like the flu for
Withdrawals.
7 days. Yeah.
It's probably like when people hit ketosis and they have that keto flu. I bet that's similar.
I bet it is.
Yeah. I like, it's big for me to say that I give up sugar when I ate a cookie and that was my breakfast and lunch for the day.
Yeah.
But,
I'm eating terribly, and I know that I am, and I'm going to get better. And I'm slowly getting there, but a year after the crash, I was living off like mashed potatoes and marshmallow fluff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I love marshmallow fluff. If I could dip pickles in that
Oh
somehow.
my word.
And,
Talk
like,
about a combo.
Yeah, that might be yummy. Anyway, and my doctor was so good. He hugged me and he said, because my numbers obviously were worse. Yeah. My blood pressure was going up, and my what is that number for sugar?
A1C.
Yeah. So that was getting worse. But he said, when you're ready, you'll know. And if you try to do it now while you're grieving, it won't work. So I think I've made baby steps. I'm getting closer. But I am not healthy. Yeah. I'm so not healthy. And I was not hugely healthy.
That's something to like think about too. It's like, you don't forget the doctors that were there for you. Because I feel like oftentimes like you feel bad asking for help, like us being givers. So like my OB who delivered Parker, like he closed his office and him and his nurse came to the funeral and stuff. But like even then my brother had my niece, my first niece, 2 months, September to October, November, 2 months after the crash. And even my OB then, which was her OB, ended up pulling me aside and he's like, are you okay? How are you doing? Like, do we need to adjust your meds? Like all of the things. And he was just my OB. Like he didn't have to care that much, but he genuinely cared. And even now, all these years later, he's not even practicing locally, but like I know that like if I needed something, like he would find a way to help me. And I adore that man. Like he saved me.
Yeah, and that's so huge because you felt seen and loved and cared for by somebody who didn't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Because I think that like oftentimes like it's okay to recognize when like you do need medicine to get through things, you know. And I felt so bad for needing assistance and needing help. You know what I mean? Like back then, like I felt like I wanted to be strong enough to do this on my own, but like I had to be able to accept help, and he didn't make me feel bad for asking for it. So he was my person.
That's such a whole conversation too that maybe we could talk about another time. But because I've not taken anything yet. But this last week, I told Tom, I'm so ready to take something. I'm so ready for this constant pain to go away. And if you have a headache, you take something. If you have, and it's so different with mental illness. I
think I made it grief. 2 or 3 years, so right around where you were before I was on the daily, you know.
And there's nothing wrong with one way or another. It's just, I think there's so much stigma to it, and so many people have different opinions, and it's really such a personal choice. And I'm not saying that I won't take it, but I didn't think I'd take it at the beginning. I thought I wouldn't. I thought, these are God emotions that you're supposed to feel. And I still feel that, but you get very tired.
It's exhausting. Yeah, it's exhausting, and your body just gets worn out, and sometimes it just needs a little help, and that's okay too.
Yep, absolutely.
So, if BetterHelp wants to sponsor us, we're ready. We are ready.
We're not fishing for sponsors, but it sure sounds like we are.
I know. Like as you're scrolling on TikTok, that's like the ad that pops up. I'm like, come on.
And what's really funny is, as of this recording, we haven't even had one podcast drop yet.
I know.
So here we are planning for sponsorships.
Yeah, you gotta love us first. You gotta love us and like us and follow us. And then just let it play in the background so we think that you listen to it. We want you to listen, but at least give us the number, please.
Well, and at some point we've talked about we would love to have a question and answer segment where you guys can tell us what you want to know about us, and we will hopefully be able to answer the questions that you ask. I know that there are some things like whatever it was that you asked me that I've already blocked out of my head, but our goal is always to be open and honest and truthful with everybody, and just to give people hope that it's okay to laugh about stuff. It's okay to feel. It's okay to cry. It's okay to get angry. All of these things happened in our life, but it's not the only thing that is in our life. I mean, especially right now for me, because it's only 2 years in, it does feel like some days it is the only thing in my head. But we still work. We still have family. We still have other things going on. And we wear a lot of hats. So we're doing all of this advocacy. Yes. We're talking constantly. We're trying to find ways to help other people all the time. But also, we are human.
Yeah. I always say, like, I don't want to forever just be known as the girl with a dead family. That sounds so harsh and morbid, but like that for the longest time is how I felt like people looked at me like, oh, that's her. There she is.
Oh, I know. I had a question.
You.
I just remembered I had a question that was not on my list that I wanted to ask you about. I wanted you, speaking of morbid.
See, we're laughing after I just said the girl is with a dead family.
No. I'm sorry. I wanted you to tell everyone what your tattoo says.
Oh, this is good. Well, if I can get out of this thing. Memento mori. And I probably said that wrong, but it's supposedly Latin. So if you translate it and it doesn't mean what I'm about to tell you, we're going to pretend it does anyway.
Yes.
But my husband now and I, we have been together for 10 years. Do the math. Don't judge me later. But anyways, we're being funny now. But anyways, our rule number 1 in our relationship is don't die. How sweet. And so instead of being like the husband and wife that would tattoo like a name, that's crazy. Well, it's not crazy.
You
do what you want.
Tattooed a commandment.
Yeah.
Don't die.
This is just remember to live.
Yeah.
So our rule number 1, don't die. So we got remember to live in Latin. He has his like on his forearm.
Yeah.
His forearm. And then I just have cute typewriter ink.
It's
up and down.
Very cool.
And so it's a good conversation starter, too, because people are like, what's that mean? Yeah. And I get to tell them, like, rule number 1, don't die. And they're like, but
and this
why?
is why I say it.
And so, it's a good conversation starter. And oftentimes it's at places like a restaurant or meeting a new group of friends who don't know me. And it's a good reminder for them.
Yeah, it's a good segue into your life story.
Uh-huh.
And mine, I have 3, but I swore I would never have any. Grace loved tattoos, and she always said, I'm going to make you get a tattoo. I know you're going to get a tattoo someday. And so literally like a couple days after the kids, we were sitting around the kitchen table, and the kids are like, you know what you have to do now? I'm like, no, I don't want to get tattoos. So
did it hurt as bad as you thought it would?
No,
it didn't hurt me.
I cried the whole time, but it was an emotional cry.
Not pain.
Yeah, because I just think she would have been smiling and laughing like, I told you so. I told you would get tattoos. So the easy one is the cross that says Grace.
Oh.
But the rose she drew, it was her first tattoo. And she had it on her right shoulder. It has a semicolon on the stem. Aww. And the pause was really important to her. And we have a lot of suicide sadness in our family. And so it was important that she drew that in. So it's the same tattoo. And then the paw print on my left wrist is because she had a paw print on her left wrist because it was on sale. And so
I love her.
She's like, well,
why
she
not?
Sent me a picture, and I said, why, Grace? And she goes, because it was on sale.
I love her.
Like, okay, so I have the paw print on my left wrist too.
Yeah.
And like yours is the conversation starter, so is mine, and I put them right where everybody in the world can see them, and it is a segue, an excuse to talk about her.
I also have 2 on my feed. I got them right after the accident. A local tattoo artist is like, hey, if you want something, I'll do this for you. And it was so generous.
Yeah.
And so I have like an infinity sign that says forever and always, because that's what Corey and I used to say all the time. It's even on like their headstone, because we knew that we'd be together forever. But life had other plans. And then the other one is a Mickey Mouse key on my foot, the other foot. And it has Parker's name. It needs touched up so badly. And then I have a cross behind my ear, and that is where my head was like pinned down by the roof.
Oh, wow.
So it's just kind of like a reminder, you know, like just like a blessing to still be here. And I know some days I didn't realize that it was a blessing to be here, but I've created such a beautiful life from like the ashes of all of this. So it was just kind of nice, like a nice reminder. And honestly, you say that Grace got that because it was on sale. I had to randomly think of a tattoo to get because a friend wanted me to go with them. And I'm like, I don't know what I want. So the cross went behind my ear. I felt like I could make up some meaning for it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, I mean, it was fun.
Well, hopefully this helped people get to know us a little better. We'll probably do it again at some point.
Yeah, but next time, like, we want your guys' questions. Like, we want to answer what you guys want to know about us. And there's not a lot of things that I probably wouldn't answer. So,
no, I
you
don't
know
think
what I mean?
I would either.
Like,
I think I would answer anything.
I'm pretty much an open book.
Yeah.
So I feel like oftentimes people want details of like the crash and stuff. And it's always like, because the lady that hit us, I don't really ever mention her because like I just don't feel like she deserves any more attention than what she's already gotten for herself. And so they'll be like, well, did she die? Did she go to jail? Like a lot of people don't even know what happened to her, but she died. And I feel like that's like one of my biggest questions I get all the time. So there's not a lot I won't answer.
Yeah, and I think, you know, there will be a point at some episode where we do the big details of our crashes, and because they are, it's heavy. It's so heavy. It's one of those things. Well, actually, I think watching the documentary will answer a lot of questions too. So we were pretty open and honest with the interviews, for those.
Very vulnerable.
Yeah. But there are things that I don't know. I think that we could dive deeper into regarding those if people want to know them. But they could also, Grace's is so recent. You could Google it if you wanted.
And find,
Yeah, but hopefully all of this leads back to our podcast and our website and our give back opportunities, which will be like twice a year, hopefully at some point.
Yeah.
We hope today's episode brought you comfort, understanding, and a renewed sense of hope. If you found value in our conversation, please consider sharing this podcast with someone who might benefit from it.
Until next time, hold on to hope, honor the memories of those that you love, and take one step at a time toward healing. You're not alone on this path. Take care and be well.